tantrums, anger, screaming. Your child got to have his way. These are really tough behaviors to happen, with your child. One mom told me he becomes very upset when told no or things don't go his way. And then, big meltdown, right? How does this affect your family? That energetics has to affect how the other kids interact, how you and your spouse interact. And, some parents have told me like, it's stressful. It's difficult to think and stay calm and rational when, you're afraid that your child's going to blow up at any moment. And sometimes you don't even know what you do to make that happen. Right. So, so I wrote this blog because I want you to think about what could be underneath those behaviors. Our kids just don't fly off the handle for no reason. There's probably some internal discomfort going on, maybe some pain and some frustration with that pain. So think brain inflammation, definitely toxins, pathogens, things that we've been exposed to, even chemical smells, and even something your child may have eaten. So I would recommend watch what they eat and then watch how they behave 2 to 24 hours later. That's going to give you a huge clue, right? People have found aluminum in the brains of kids with autism, fluoride, mercury, so all kinds of metals and chemicals like flame retardants. So just think of it. Our pajamas are coated in it. Our furniture is coated in it. The beds, try and get an organic mattress without the flame retardants. So, this stuff is everywhere. And in food, we have MSG and other exciting chemicals for the brain, like food colorings and additives. And then there's a whole bunch of different kinds of metals, heavy metals and minerals we're exposed to that we really shouldn't. And then think about what, as a mom, you might have been exposed to during pregnancy or what you might have had in your body, and that could end up in your child's brain. The other thing is GI distress. So constipation is huge for helping create these anger tantrum situations. Think about the gut, think about probiotics. Got to get your child pooping 1 to 4 times every day. Really, they have to poop. And sometimes even when they're pooping, there's still like old fecal matter in there and constipation. So definitely get that checked out. I know genetics is part of the deal. I studied genetics. I was part of the sequencing of the human genome, and I think I understand genetics pretty well. The genes are the DNA we're given at birth, but then that can change depending on our environment. So all those things I mentioned about the environment can turn on and off genes in the wrong way. So you can have genetics at play, but just by changing your environment, you can really, really change. You can change your genetics. We can change our genetics just by thinking. So certain thoughts we have and emotions that can change genetics. I've been working with a body of work around that right now that people are researching. But again, what I want to say is there's no one cause. So something might set your child off, but it's probably a lot of different things that are happening in the body that probably each need to be handled. And because we're a holistic system, you don't just do one thing and then the other thing doesn't, shift because of it. So really helping the gut is the first thing I would do. And I mentioned in the article that there's this man who was a Gulf War veteran. His name is, I'm finding it, Arthur Borman, and he was just disabled and not doing great. And he actually changed his life by changing his mind and changing his body. So you're never too old. It's never too late. You're never too sick to start again. Is it a journey? Yes. Does it take time? Absolutely. But we can all shift. We can change the brain even, right? There's neuroplasticity that scientists have found about maybe a decade ago. So how long does this take? Well, it takes as long as it takes, right? When we pull toxins out of a body, we can't pull them all out at once, or, you'd probably not survive that process. So we have to go step by step at the level that the body's willing to create the changes, to make all the changes, right? So what I suggest is you start with an assessment. So find out what's going on in your child's body. Maybe that's an autism doctor specialist, a functional nutritionist, a functional medicine doctor. I certainly work with clients. So we look at what's going on in the body, what's creating the neuroinflammation, what's creating the gut issues, and then we start taking care of that, right? what's creating food sensitivities, all these things we take a look at. And then just like taking a piece of tangled yarn apart, we go string knot by knot, we unknot each one. And sometimes, you know, you pull and a whole bunch of knots come loose. So that's also a possibility. So what I recommend is you stop putting toxic stuff in your body, so you can read about that down below. And then eliminate certain things in your home, like things that have fire retardant and glues and formaldehyde and air fresheners, all the sprays you use in your bathroom, all the chemical scents, that new car smell in your car, all the little pine tree air fresheners in your car. Get rid of them. They're just chemicals that is just more of a load for your child's body to deal with. And of course, they're the things they put on and in their body. Got to clean that up, make sure they're eliminating. And then this is really important. And this is the key step I find that most even autism specialists miss, is the drainage piece. So drain means to empty a liquid, and that's our lymphatic system. So we need to really focus on the lymphatic system and the liver, those systems that get the toxins out of the body, because the last thing to drain, the last thing to let go of toxins is the brain. And what do we want to work right now? We want the brain to work better. We want the neurons to connect. So this is what I suggest. You really focus in on that, because I've seen tremendous changes when we start working on the drainage, and then we can detoxify. Can't detoxify before then, because you can really harm the body. But once those systems are open, we get rid of the gunk, the neurons start connecting, the cells start connecting, the immune system starts working better. The other thing we have to do, which I didn't mention in the blog, is we have to give the cells energy to work. Why don't the cells have energy to work? Because there's toxins in there. Toxins are just such a catch-22. We don't work well because of toxins, and the detox systems don't work well because of toxins, and we have to get the toxins out. So it's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the kind of general cycle that I see, is that, you know, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot by having these toxins, so we can't detoxify. Anyway, those are the main steps. Please read the blog, check for the resources, and, you know, reach out if you're looking for some help. We do a free discovery call to see if working together would be a good fit. We have an autism recovery plan program, which is all about that drainage and detox and getting full guidance through that. So go ahead and check out these resources. Reach out if you need help, because that's what I've committed to. That's my passion. And that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, is help kids. Because you know what? Kids are our future, and we need them to operate the best they can.